For every person who joins the U.S. Army, the first day is a shock to the system. They step onto the training grounds, thinking they're prepared, but nothing can truly prepare them for what comes next. This isn't just training for war. It's an immersive, full-body lesson in survival. The air instantly thickens with smoke. Explosions boom in the distance, not as a special effect, but as the new soundtrack to their lives. And above it all, the voices of drill sergeants cut through the chaos, sharp and unyielding. There's no gradual introduction. From the moment their boots hit the ground, they are thrown into a world of controlled chaos, designed to test their willpower and force them to adapt or fail. We see them sprinting through thick mud. Their face is a mask of raw determination, their bodies already being pushed to the absolute limit. This isn't about looking good for a camera. It's about transformation. It's the story of how ordinary people are forged into something more. When recruits first arrive, they are a collection of individuals from every walk of life. They're students, cashiers, dreamers, each with their own story. But here, those stories are put on hold. They find themselves under the constant, piercing gaze of drill sergeants who demand perfection. Orders are barked, not asked. Routines are brutally efficient, and comfort is a luxury that no longer exists. Every single second of the day is scheduled. Every mistake is corrected with an intensity that borders on alarming. The Army's philosophy is simple and profound. To build a soldier, you must first break down the civilian. This intense discipline isn't about cruelty. It's a calculated process of conditioning. It's designed to strip away individual ego, to burn off laziness, and to eliminate hesitation. Those first few days are a blur of confusion, physical exhaustion, and a heavy cloud of doubt. Many wonder if they've made a terrible mistake, but underneath the exhaustion, a powerful mental shift is already beginning. Civilians start to think differently. They move with purpose. The fear in their eyes slowly sharpens into focus. Their hesitation gives way to a sense of commitment. This is the bedrock of military transformation. A new discipline forged in the fires of discomfort. Once that initial shock begins to fade, the real work begins. Building the foundation of a warrior. This means mastering the essential combat skills that every single soldier needs to know. The rifle range becomes their new classroom, where precision is the only passing grade. They learn to treat their M4 carbines not as tools, but as extensions of their own bodies. They clean them, maintain team, and fire them with a discipline that becomes second nature. They navigate grueling obstacle courses, crawling through mud under the menacing threat of barbed wire, learning to advance under the terrifying sound of simulated enemy fire. Every single movement is practiced relentlessly, repeated until it's not a thought, but an instinct. And underpinning all of it is physical conditioning. Every push-up, every long run, every demanding exercise is building the sheer endurance needed to function on a battlefield. The goal isn't just to create strong individuals. It's to shape dependable warriors who can perform flawlessly under the most extreme pressure and exhaustion. It's in these moments of pushing past their limits that real confidence starts to bloom. Recruits begin to see what they are truly capable of, and it's more than they ever imagined. But physical strength, on its own, is not enough. The reality of combat is chaos, and in chaos, the mind is the ultimate weapon. The Army knows this, which is why it trains for mental resilience with the same intensity as physical fitness. This training comes in the form of constant stress, manufactured exhaustion, and crippling uncertainty. Soldiers are forced to endure long, grueling hours in harsh weather, solving complex problems while their bodies are screaming for rest and their stomachs are empty. They face simulated ambushes and unexpected tactical challenges, all designed to trigger fear and confusion. Through this relentless mental gauntlet, they learn to control their emotions. They learn to breathe through the fear instead of letting it break them. It is mental conditioning in its purest form, teaching the brain to remain calm and focused when the world is falling apart around it. Trainees will tell you about the moments of deep, dark doubt, the moments where quitting feels like the only rational choice. But they also tell you about how they find a hidden strength, not just within themselves, but from the encouragement of their peers. It is in these moments of shared struggle that they learn a vital lesson. Toughness is UNT, about never feeling broken. It's about refusing to stay broken. As their skills sharpen and their mindset hardens, The training evolves into its advanced stages, the very heart of modern warfare preparation. Soldiers are now introduced to complex, urban combat environments. They learn to navigate simulated cities, where every darkened window and every blind corner could hide a threat. They practice room-clearing techniques with surgical precision, communicating non-verbally under the deafening noise of simulated fire. They participate in live-fire drills, where the stakes feel terrifyingly real. When darkness falls, the training continues. Using night vision goggles, they learn to operate in the pitch black, moving silently and efficiently as a cohesive unit. In this passe, every decision carries immense weight. Every mistake becomes a critical lesson that could one day save a life in a real combat zone. The focus shifts dramatically. Soldiers stop thinking in terms of I and start thinking exclusively in terms of we. Teamwork is no longer just a concept they hear about. It becomes the fundamental law of survival. Then comes the ultimate test of both skill and endurance. Life in the field. For days, sometimes weeks at a time, soldiers are stripped of all modern comforts. They live outdoors, surviving with only the gear on their backs. There are no showers. There are no beds. Meals are not hot plates, but mysteries eaten in the rain. They march 4 miles over unforgiving terrain, conducting reconnaissance missions, setting up defensive perimeters, and running mock missions while battling constant, bone-deep fatigue. The rain doesn't stop the training. The mud doesn't stop the movement. It is here, in the dirt and the cold and the exhaustion, that soldiers truly earn their resilience. They learned what it means to lead when everyone around them is exhausted. They learn how to stay alert when their bodies are desperate for sleep. And most importantly, they learn to rely completely on their brothers and sisters in arms when everything else has been stripped away. This is where endurance is forged, not just in the muscles, but in the soul. And out of that shared hardship, something incredible emerges. A brotherhood. The constant stress, the shared pain, the collective challenges, they forge bonds that are deeper and stronger than ordinary friendships. They can't be explained in words. They can only be felt. Soldiers begin to understand that their own strength is finite, but the strength of their team is limitless. They learn to literally carry each other over obstacles. They share the last of their food without a second thought. They learn to find the right words to motivate a friend when their spirit is about to break. This is where true leadership is born. It's not about rank or authority. It's about action. It's about being the one who steps up when everyone else is ready to falter. These bonds of trust, loyalty, and selflessness become the living, breathing heart of the U.S. Army. This is no longer just training. It's a shared journey of transformation that redefines their character forever. Finally, after weeks of grueling, relentless challenges, the day arrives. The transformation is complete. The recruits who stepped off that bus, filled with fear and uncertainty, now stand tall and proud in their crisp dress uniforms. They face one last series of tests, proving their skills and endurance one final time, before the moment they've all been fighting for. Graduation. Family and friends gather, their faces filled with awe and pride. Flags wave proudly in the breeze, and the new soldiers march in perfect formation, disciplined, confident, and forever changed. The graduation ceremony is more than just a milestone. It marks a rebirth. They have earned the right to be called soldiers of the United States Army, a title that carries with it a legacy of sacrifice, honor, and duty. In the end, U.S. Army combat training is about so much more than just creating fighters. It's about shaping warriors who embody the very essence of courage, honor, and resilience. It's a journey that tests every physical, mental, and emotional limit a person has. And in the smiles on graduation day, in the crisp salutes, and the waving flags, you see the deeper truth. True strength is never given. It is earned through struggle. Discipline, courage, and unity are no longer just words. For these men and women, they are a new way of life. Thank you for watching. If you respect the incredible journey of these soldiers, show your support by liking and subscribing. Join us as we continue to explore the real stories behind the making of America's finest.